Hello, footies. Welcome along to your latest dose of Football Ultimate Team podcasting goodness. We are FUT in Review, powered by footcoaching.com. No, your eyes do not deceive you, nor do your ears. It's Dan Wimbush here doing a Friday show for once. This is episode 637. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. The reason I am sitting in is because John is over in Scotland for the FUT in Review meetup. So we're recording this close to 10 o'clock at night. So I'm sure they are a few shandies deep by now. So I hope they are having a great time. But I am joined, the rest of the crew are in Scotland, but I've managed to keep one of the Scots contingent back to join me tonight. Adam joins me. Adam, hello, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. It's good to be back on a little podcast, especially on Friday night. It's the best night of the week for FIFA, so good to be back and have a nice chat about FIFA.
Absolutely. And look, we've got so much to talk about. Again, we haven't been doing the short shows, so we've got a little bit to catch up on, but the headlines that we'll be getting through on tonight's show, of course, we've got the Ballon d'Or promo and the pros and cons that's come along with that, and the Centurions promo has launched as well. So lots for us to get into, plus Evos, there's some SBCs, and lots of other bits and pieces. So Adam, let's jump in with the content from so far this week. If I can queue up a little teaser thing, we will go for this. This week in Football Ultimate Team. Again, I love how I recorded all the stings, and so when I do a show, it's just like me in my own voice. But never mind, I will get John versions at some point. So loads to get to, Adam. I think let's start with the biggest talking point, this Ballon d'Or promo. Now, if you have not been able to log on to your console, at this point, you will probably have not seen the fact that you will log in and get two shiny players, basically team of the year caliber players, Adam. 2 1 of 5 player picks, one from the men's Ballon d'Or nominees and one from the women's Ballon d'Or nominees, to use on a time limited loan for 5 days. Is the only place you can get these cards. They are not in packs. They are not in SBCs. The only chance you will get and the only players you will see are these 5 each from the men's and women's team. Now that you've seen these players out in the wild, Adam, I mean, what's your reaction? Are you a fan of this? Not a fan of this?
I'm not sure. I'm really happy that I got Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. for my choices for the men's. So I took Mbappe just because hopefully I'll be getting acquainted with his player of the month at some point this year. And for the women's, I could have took Bonmati, which I think everyone mostly would have. But because I'm trying to 4-4-2 just now, and my 2 CMs are Jude and Valverde, so I went with, let me get her name right, Selma Celeste Parallelo Aingono.
You pronounced it far better than I would have done.
I've not even practiced that. But yeah, I played 3 rivals. No, sorry, I played 3 Weekend League qualification games to qualify for Weekend League, and she made Kyle Walker look very foolish in all of them. And Mbappe is what Usain Bolt would be like if he could play football, so he seems pretty good, and I'm going to enjoy them for 4 days. I'm going to hate playing against them for 4 days, and I'm going to miss them for the rest of the game.
Yes, I took I went a little bit left field actually. I took Saliba from the men's picks, and I took Hansen from the women. My reasoning being that they were 2 positions I could very easily swap players out from without noticing too much of disruption to my team. Saliba will come in for Evo Kanate, and Hansen will come in for Gold Chloe Kelly. So there's not going to be much disruption to my team. But I'm like you, I'm going to hate facing them. And that's one of the reasons I took the defender, because I was like, I need something to stop Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., et al. This weekend. So like, where do you fall on this side of things? Because part of me is like, I'm annoyed because EA have completely disrupted the power curve and given people sort of 15% of their team for free for absolutely nothing this entire weekend. But then the other part of me is like, oh, well, it's fun, getting to use different players and getting to use these absolute god players. I mean, where do you kind of fall on it?
Kind of in the middle. Like I said today on like a Twitter conversation or something, that it was like the drug dealer giving you your first hit for free, and then you know you're going to be back in the store to try and get these guys for or guys and gals when the time balloons run out. But on the other hand, if there were promo players that you could only get in packs, and we know the drop rates are minuscule, then everyone's going to be sitting complaining and being really sad that they're not going to get them. They're going to get an 84 rated left back that's got 26 pace. So I think it is sort of good that they've given us these league cards and to have a chance using them, especially for like full weekend league and rivals run and all that, and not like 10 games. But I also think there's FIFA points motives behind it, and I don't know how everyone will feel after it when they're going back to I'll be going back to Ivo Doku and Marcus Thuram when Mbappe and Parallelo go away, which will be quite the come down, I think.
Are you possibly suggesting EA have got an ulterior motive with this? I can't believe you would suggest something. You know, they're an upstanding, totally, player-driven company. They'd never do anything like that. But anyway, yeah, it is difficult. And I saw one member of the fifth community, and again, I apologize, I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, was basically saying that the frustrating thing from their experience having used these cards is these cards are apparently really responsive, and you've got more because I actually haven't been able to play a game. I've been looking after my youngest daughter, and I've been off at a fireworks display, which is why we're recording this so late at night on a Friday. So I've not played with them, but this guy was saying that the frustrating thing for him is that using these players show you what this game could be because they are really responsive. There's no delay; they are just there, and it's great seeing the potential of this game. But like you said, it's then very frustrating going back, knowing that you've got to go back out the other side.
Yeah. To own cards of this level at this point in the game, you either have to be 1 in a million or extremely rich on the game. This Mbappe would be, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 million coins if he was on the market. And I don't know how much the parallel in Etal would be, but they'd be so expensive. But they have been a joy to play with. Like, I managed to just dance around the keeper one game with Mbappe and rivals. Guy switches weekend league qualification, did switches his game off, easy win. When I try to do that with anyone else in my team, I've got some decent players, they just run straight into the keeper. And you're like, but did I put in an output for something to happen? And it's just like no responsiveness, which has been my sort of main frustration of the game. After a sort of positive start, I've struggled with it a little bit. But yeah, they've given us the goods, and then they're going to take them away from us for quite some time, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking. I mean, again, look, this is brand new, so they could always spring something on us in December. Like, could be a Team of the Year nominees thing where you get a similar before the main team comes out. But yeah, otherwise it is going to be at least January until you get the chance to use any of these players. I think a couple of little things about it. I would have actually preferred if they'd given everybody the same choice. I think if they'd limited it just to 5 nominees of each, because again, I didn't see Mbappe. I probably wouldn't have taken him, but it would have been nice to have had that option. Or for to have had, I like Haaland, I would have been quite interested to try out. But as it turns out, that wasn't one of my options. So I just think maybe a bit of standardization there, I think would have been quite helpful. But otherwise, we'll see how it pans out. I'm sure there will be a point in this weekend league, and if I end up playing some rivals games at the start of next week where I'm like, Mbappe or Vinny Jr. will score a really jammy goal against me, and then I'll be absolutely cursing EA's name for giving people access. I mean, I'm already salty enough with EA, Adam, for giving everyone that Traore card. Because, oh my word, the jam on that card. It's like, why did you have to give him why did you give him to everybody? It's just so, I don't need that. I don't need those stress levels. So, yeah, look, we'll see how the Ballon d'Or thing pans out. But we have had a regular promo team out as well, Adam. And again, this is a promo we have seen before. Centurions is back. It's along the theme of 100 of something. Although I'm not quite sure what the significance for a lot of these players are. Whether they've completed 100 of whatever or not. They just seems to just be a random promo team dumped in. But I mean, what do you make of the team that's come out?
Yeah, I think there's some quite interesting players. I'm just having a look at it just now. Um, Looking at just the sort of non-icon players. Quite like the look of Bruno Fernandes. He's got a star weak foot boost. So I think he could be quite fun. Um, Although he is quite expensive, I've just seen the price. And I think Ferran Torres looks quite decent as well. Sort of lowish stats, kinda for dribbling and pace, but he looks quite fun. I'm in the market for a left mid, so I think that's why I'm looking there. Um, but yeah, there's quite a lot of players that have actually got the Ballon d'Or card and the Centurions card, which is interesting. Um, but yeah, looks not too bad. I feel because they've added the icons to it, it adds an extra layer of excitement that I think all the previous promos have really missed this year.
Yeah, and especially when you go to get your weekend league rewards or your rivals rewards, knowing that these players are packable. Because again, promo icons, for those of you maybe new to the game, promo icons are considered in the same vein as gold cards. So they will appear from the 75 by 45 packs, whereas icons just generally don't. The base icons aren't in those packs. So these are, I mean, and you see the prices already, Adam, of some of these icons. Already, got Ruud van Nistelrooy as we record this. He's down at 230k. Crespo's at 350. Laudrup's at 270. Even Sol Campbell, who I think is a brilliant looking card, that's available for 440 on console as well. And then, yeah, you've got the big boys that you'll just never see. I don't care how available they are. You're never going to see Ribery. He's 3 million coins. You've got a very small chance of seeing Beckham at 1.5, Van der Sar's at nearly 1 million. Fowdy, who's one of the new icons this year, she's got her first promo card. That's over 1 million coins as well. Schweinsteiger close to 1 million. So some nice pickups there. And in the main team, if you're talking about kind of value and where it comes from, I really like the look of Christine Sinclair. I both can and can't understand why this card is so cheap. So at the time we record this, she's 145,000 coins, 4-star skill moves, 5-star weak foot, 91 shooting, 88 passing, 87 dribbling, 88 physicality. She's got power shot plus. She's also got normal finesse shot and power header. She's got incisive pass. She's got press proven and technical, and she's got Trivella. An absolutely fantastic forward. The only thing that really holds this card back, Adam, is NWSL plus Canada, not the best links, and 82 pace. But you take away anything from that. If you're looking for just someone that is going to bury chances for you, this card is fantastic value.
Yeah, she looks class. I think she'd be a good cam actually. I've just seen that she's got the cam thing on her card, although she does have a plus role at striker, so maybe that's where you'd want to use her. But yeah, I think if you fired an engine on her, that would make her a pretty handy player. And so many people have got the Rodman and Morgan cards, and then I think there's another one that was quite
Crystal
good.
Dunn, Swanson.
Yeah, you could get pretty solid NWSL team in the go. And then there's also I suppose the heroes wouldn't actually work because they're MLS. But yeah, I think you could put together a serious team with them. I've played against a few people, and when they know how to use the small female players with the pace, it's not good to play against sometimes.
Yeah, look, 93 composure, 95 shot power, 90 finishing, 93 attack positioning, and also throw in 97 strength as well. Again, get the ball to this card. She will finish it. Only 5'9", but target forward plus, false 9 plus, and advanced forward plus. And as Adam mentioned as well, she can also play CM and Cam, where she's got half winger plus on both those. So that's my kind of budget pick from this. But again, Adam, I think this reminds me of just a lot of promos that we've seen this year, and that there is very little in that kind of mid tier. It all just seems to be very accessible fodder cards that are under 30k, or very expensive cards. You like Rafa Leao, Martinez, Son, Hansen, Bruno, Rodri, Modric, that you're just not going to see.
Yeah, and the other problem with them is as well that I feel like maybe it's just my luck. But if you decide to buy your Bruno Fernandes at nearly 700,000 coins or Martinez at 635, as soon as you buy them, you just know you're going to get a 100k haircut just because you bought them. So I think the sort of market always going down when you buy these players, it puts you off. And yeah, like you say, there's not much in the middle that's about 200,000 coins that appeals to you. So it's just like there's nothing, and then you get to the ceiling, but the ceiling's too far away.
Yeah. What I would always say with these promo teams, though, is again, pick up some of these. If you've got a few 100,000 coins and you're not really spending it, go and pick up these cards that are close to discard, because the likes of Bard, he's an 84 rated left back from Ligue 1 at the moment. But he's absolutely rife. A lot of these cards are so rife for Evos down the line. And at worst comes to it, you stick 11k on buying Bard, and he doesn't get an Evo and then you just discard him and get your 11k back. So I would do that. But yeah, otherwise I'm just kind of looking through it, and it's quite a big team as well, Adam, isn't it? I mean, it's got sort of 11 plus 6, so 17. Can't even do maths. 23. It's got 25 players in this promo team, so they've gone all out on it.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they've tried to step it up a little bit this week. I've sort of felt myself that I've not really been too interested in what comes out. I've only got one promo card in my team, aside from the 2 Ballon d'Or players just now. They'll be leaving my team. The only promo player I've got in my team is Trent. What was he?
Total Rush.
Yeah, Total Rush. I'm looking at it and I didn't see it. And he's been really good, but he's the only promo player I've got in my team. I think, I don't know, it's just not hitting the mark just now with the promos. It just feels like they're all a bit samey.
Yeah, I think we were in this kind of situation, I believe, last year with the pack weight on these special cards just being so poor. And then Thunderstruck came along because it was around Black Friday, wasn't it? So around this time of year, and then the pack weight just seemed to miraculously go up, and everyone was really enjoying that promo. And I just wonder if the same thing is going to happen again this year. I mean, I'm still at the point where I've not been able to see many people opening packs, so I don't know what the weight is. But just looking at the prices again of that team and the bulk of players that we have in packs, I'm a little bit more optimistic. Because it's nice just hitting these promo players, even if they are just discard. It's still nice seeing different flares. So look, that remains to be seen. But if you do want a guaranteed Centurions player, Adam, you can go out and do the SBC. And I imagine this one's going to be quite a popular, as one certain Darwin Núñez has an SBC out.
Yeah, I actually quite fancy him from my team because I've got a few Liverpool players. But yeah, he looks really good. I think he's had at least a star boost on either weak foot or skill moves. I think it's skill moves. But yeah, he's got great stats. He's really fast, really strong. His dribbling looks a little bit heavy with 80 agility and 72 balance and only 82 composure. But I think if you stick an engine on him, he could be a great striker. And he's also got target forward plus, which I don't think I've tried any of the target forward roles yet. So he could bring something different to teams.
Yeah, I had the pre-order hero I got was Sasic, and she had target forward plus, and I found that quite useful. But yeah, I mean, this card, as you mentioned, he's got a boost in both skill move and weak foot, so he's 4/4 here, only 87 rated as well, so won't be too far along for Evos down the line. Good pace, the shooting is there. I don't love 82 composure. Again, especially if you're spending close to 300,000 coins on a striker or 300,000 worth of fodder. I kind of like, again, I compared this card to that Christine Sinclair card. And actually, if I'm just looking at someone that's going to bury chances for me, I'm taking that Sinclair card all day.
Yeah, I can see why he does. Christine Sinclair does have a more rounded card, but I guess you're paying for a popular player in the popular league with not the best nation, but he does does have a link to Valverde, who's another popular player, so he does have sort of cross-league linkability.
It, this card just reminds me of, I suppose it's a compliment in a way. It reminds me of Nunes in real life because he's got that quick step playstyle plus. He's got like the pace is there, the power is there, but then the finishing and the tools to actually score goals is really what's missing on the card. I mean, look, playstyles. He's got power shot basic, and that's it in the shooting. So you've got no finesse, no chip shot, no power header. Again, no passing play styles. He has got bruiser, acrobatic, relentless as well, and rapid. So yeah, he's definitely going to get into the right positions. I'm not backing this card to finish that one, half chance.
Yeah, I do agree. The thing as well, I've noticed I don't like strikers with poor passing. I find they sort of, when you need to play a pass for your striker and they've got really low passing or quite low passing, it kills what would be a good attack if their passing was 5'10", 5'10" stats better. And I think he might be in the cusp of one of those players that kind of let you down when a final pass is needed. But again, I'm kind of tempted to do him, mostly because I've not done any big SBCs yet this year, really, and I've got lots of fodder. But it might be one that you hold out on until the last day. He's here for 29 days, so you've got time to make your mind up and take your time to choose.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, there's no shortage of content as well out there to be able to get packs and things like that. We have an objective player, Gaethan Theny. I'm butchering the name, so I really apologise. Plays in the top division of women's French football in the D1 Arkema for Paris FC, 4-star skills, 3-star weak foot. Just a solid card, Adam.
Yeah, actually, it's pretty decent. If you've got some good French ladies from the Arkema, then she'll fit in well. Good cam, probably an engine again, boost the balance and agility and a little bit of pace. But she's well rounded and she's got high composure at 88. We've just been talking about Darwin having slightly lower composure, and you can't boost that with the chemistry style. But as a freebie for, let me see, 10 games, she's pretty decent. And first touch plus, I believe she's got. Yeah, that's a good one to blast balls into her feet, and she can turn and get a shot away quickly.
Yeah, nice dynamic image as well with the tongue out. That'll really tilt your opponent if they see that card flash up after you scored against them as well. So plus points for that. Lots of other objectives and bits and pieces for getting on with as well, as mentioned, based around both the Ballon d'Or and the Centurions promo. So yeah, if you don't want to go, if you haven't qualified for weekend league, there are other places to use those Ballon d'Or players to get you a selection of packs and things like that. So again, it's nice to have stuff to get on with over these next sort of week or two, because it had started to look a little bit thin on the ground in terms of objectives and whatnot over the past few weeks. But any other thoughts on Ballon d'Or or Centurions before we move on and just round up a little bit of the other content from the past couple of days?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Maybe this wouldn't go down well, but I'd love to see a Ballon d'Or SBC, and you can maybe get one of them, make it really expensive, and you can craft away at it for quite a while. It would obviously destroy the power curve and cause lots of problems, but I think it would be fun. Other SBCs that we've had, I think we had Robertson a few days ago. I think he looked pretty sweet. I think he's relatively cheap, and as a Liverpool left back, he's going to have easy links, and he's probably one of the best left backs in the Premier League just now, because they seem to be a bit short on the ground. However, that being said, the Golgi Doggy has been absolutely class for me, and I've only took him out of the team the last week, but he's going to be pretty decent, I think, for not a huge amount of fodder, and it's accessible fodder. I think I squad's an 85, so it's not too bad at all.
Yeah, does the pace worry you at all? Only 86 pace?
Be 94 if you put a shadow on him. I feel like defenders track back quicker than their pace anyway. And he's got mad stamina. I think he's got like 96 stamina or 93 stamina or something. So I think he won't feel rapid across the first few steps, but he'll definitely get back, mostly, I think.
Yeah, very, very fair. And we had a showdown as well. Damian and Politano, both very, very cheap. Both of them less than 50k. Very easy to knock off. Again, Napoli, it's Napoli against Inter, SBC. So again, if you're looking to build up on, and lots of people have got plenty of Serie A links, Adam. Again, I think both these two, I think they both either one needs the double upgrade to be really usable. But certainly not a bad one to take a punt on to stash down the line.
Yeah, they're both definitely worth doing just to clear your dupe storage if you're like me. And they definitely like ripe for an Evo soon as well because they've got no playstyle pluses. And sort of lowish but decent stats, as you say.
Yeah,
Um,
not much to write home about otherwise, to be
yeah,
honest. Just kind of there. As was the team of the week. I mean, Gorkarez getting a lot of hype. He's 63k. He had Diani. I think she's the most expensive card in this for 130k. The other news, of course, being that they've lifted the floor of Team of the Week cards now to 83. So that will be now the lowest rated for Team of the Week, which is good. It was a much needed lift because already those 80 and 81s were just completely useless. So I'm glad they've gone out and done that. A Premier League Player of the Month as well. Chris Wood. And Adam, we talk about just clearing out your dupe storage. I think this is about the nicest thing you could probably say for this card.
yeah, he's a bit of a lump, but if you do enjoy Route One football, Sam Allardyce is your guy. He could be decent, I guess. He'll be good in the air. He's got power header. They've done what they can with his pace. Um, yeah, he might be good for the last 10 minutes if you're desperate. And he looks a bit like Phil Jones from the picture
he
somehow.
does. He does. And as you say, a lump of wood. This is the perfect card if you are literally just starting the game. Like if you're starting a brand new RTG or something, this is the type of card that you would just do and will just do an absolutely fine job without doing anything spectacular at all. So look, it's there. If you're a Forest fan, if you're building, I mean, Chris Wood's got enough clubs in his past, so you know your Millwalls, your Leicester past and presents, plenty of clubs to pick from for Chris Wood. Or if you're building a New Zealand team as well, then he's your man. But that is the Player of the Month for the Premier League. So unfortunately, nothing overly exciting on that front to get into. Speaking of team building, Adam, should we delve into a little bit of Community Team of the Week? Yeah, there we go. As myself has just said, Community Team of the Week, Adam. Now, I kind of sprung this one on you late, but we kind of had a little bit of a chat, and there was one team that we thought was worthy of Community Team of the Week on us this week.
Yeah, we did. We scoured all the teams meticulously, and there was one winner by a head, and it was Ashby's team. Notable players include. Oh, I've just noticed he's done the Varane Evo with the Trivella Plus. Can't remember what it was called, the French one, Le Bleu. So that's pretty cool. He's got the SBC left centre back, Castel Luqueba. And Zé Roberto. I've got an absolute soft spot for a Brazilian left back, so pretty exciting team. Some nice Evos and a heroic front line of Robbie Keane and Antonio Di Natale, who is, of course, a FIFA legend.
Yeah, absolutely. And Thuram and Gravenberch, two absolute FIFA stalwarts in that midfield. And Evo of Curtis Jones, Di Lorenzo at right back, Allison in goal. And I hate facing Allison. Man, I hate facing Allison. And yeah, do you know what? I haven't seen. I actually don't think I've faced that Robbie Keane yet. Have you?
I think I have once or twice. I thought he would have been in everyone's teams, like the Benzema flashback we had a few seasons ago, and it was just like everyone had him in every game. But yeah, he's been pretty rare. I think he's actually really quite good, but I've not seen him that much. I don't know if the price puts people off, but I don't think it was hugely overpriced.
Yeah, I think people see the price and then see 85 and just go, nah, not for me. Whereas, like you say, if you actually look under the hood of this card, it's got a decent engine. in it. So yeah, I'm actually quite glad that not a lot of people have completed it. But yeah, thank you to all of those who have submitted their community team of the week. Again, if you are a member of the Discord, and remember, joining the Discord is absolutely free. We have a community team of the week section, and it's a great place as well, actually, even if just to keep a track on your team over the course of the year, because I always forget like how my team looked, and it's always quite fun. Just submitting my team every few weeks and then going, oh, that's, it's a nice little picture of how your team's evolved. So again, thank you to everyone who submitted their teams in. I did have a soft spot as well for John Talking Foot's team, who is bravely fighting on with the St Johnston past and present Evo team. And bless him, he's only got one player. He's got two players that are in the gold category at the moment. So credit to him trying to fight his way up through with the Super J's team. So yeah, credit to you, John.
Braver man than me.
Absolutely. I've got two Reading Evo players in my team, but if I tried to run 11, things would not be going well. So look, thank you to all of you who've done that. And also a massive thank you as well to everyone who supports us via Patreon, patreon.com/FUT IN review. Again, you get access to a whole host of benefits. And the best thing about it is, of course, that you get to support us as a community, as a team. You get to show that, you value us to that state where you're going to put your hand in your pocket. And we thank you very much for those that do so. But again, we realize that the times are tight. And again, if you can just simply take the time to follow us on social media, drop those 5-star reviews, leave us comments. Again, thank you for everyone who's leaving the comments on the Spotify shows. Great help as well there. So look, thank you very much for all of that support. But I mean, Adam, anything else that you kind of wanted to get into on today's show?
I don't know. I think I'd like to talk a little bit about sort of gameplay in Weekend League.
Go for it.
So my sort of journey's been, I had a poor first Weekend League, but it's the first one, so that's cool. I got 11 or 12 wins. I can't remember, all the ranks sort of feel the same. I think it was 11. And then I thought, that's it, we're going to progress and get our way up the ranks. I've not hit double digits wins since. I don't know if it's because I've hoarded all my coins and not bought players to keep up, but for me, I've felt like Weekend League gameplay has been much worse than Rivals and Weekend League qualifying. And normally Weekend League's the best gameplay for me. Lots of people talk about delay, and I sort of think could be an excuse, but my God, I've had delay in ways that you'd never believe, although I've also not played really well, so I'm not just saying it's the game's fault. And I don't know, I'm kind of always interested to see how everyone else is doing, to see if it's just me that the FIFA has left, as people have been saying.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's you. I mean, look, I had the conversation with Shaq on Wednesday about the general vibe around the game, and again, the last few days, and look, I've not seen the general overall reaction to this Ballon d'Or promo, but still the vibe I'm getting from major content creators, from just people in our Discord and just people on social media, is just that, yeah, like you say, there is a spark missing. And I think, the things that you describe about delay and the inconsistencies of the gameplay and things like that just are really not helping the vibes. And when there are other games out there like COD, like I was playing some COD Zombies this week and I was having a whale of a time. And I got home the other day and I was like, I can't wait to play COD Zombies. And I have not really had that feeling with this game, other than the fact that I have, when I've been working on an Evo of a Reading player, that's when I've been like, oh, it'd be great. I can't wait to take Lewis Wing into Weekend League. But yeah, there is something a little bit off. I mean, do you think the patch has made a bit of a difference? Again, I was speaking to Shaq just hours after the patch had been released on sort of Tuesday even, we recorded that show, sorry. Now it's been out for a few days. Have you noticed any differences?
I played a couple of games on it yesterday, and then had PlayStation issues, so then I had to go buy a new PlayStation. And yesterday Rivals felt slow, but slightly better. And then playing Weekend League qualification today on my new console, it must be said. But again, it just feels like a different game. I'm sure when you've played Call of Duty, it feels like the same game all the time. Maybe you get the odd game that it's like unstable connection. It's a bit sort of stuttery. But in FIFA, it's as if you play the team that you start with, and your team is the team, but you could be playing a different game every time you play it. It sort of feels like just now, and I think everyone just wants sort of stability and consistency in the game, so that when like you do something one day, you know it works, and then the next day you try that same sort of thing, and the player doesn't even try to do it; he just doesn't pick up. Like, tried to do a clearance the other day, or sorry, I tried to do a Trivela pass, and my player just ran up to hit it, but then didn't hit it. The striker takes the ball off me and just runs down and scores, and I'm like, is that my fault for trying to play a Trivela pass, or is it just this is where we are and we need to adapt in advance of what could happen?
Yeah, I've lost count this game in particular of the amount of passes that have gone not just a little bit astray, but have gone in a completely different direction to where I've pressed. And I'm thinking maybe of going back to semi-assisted passing because I'm at that point where I'm almost convinced I've got stick drift or something going on because I will play what I think is going to be a nice safe pass, and all of a sudden my player has decided to play the most ridiculous pass imaginable. Like literally, out of every single option of person you could pass to, he's picked the worst possible option. But again, could be a
Yeah, I've
controller issue.
also found on passing as well. Have you found that if you've got like two players that are sort of near each other, but one of them's clearly offside, and you aim at the guy that's onside, it's like it's the only time the pass would work when they're offside, and it's like played by prime Xabi Alonso and Iniesta at the same time, and it's a missile right to his offside foot, and you're like,
Yeah,
I didn't aim at you. Like, cheers for the good pass, but like we aimed at our man that's trying to break the line, but isn't past the line, and you're just like that costs you games, and you're like, I didn't aim there. Like, is it our fault for not having manual passing? I don't know,
yeah.
but it's like if they could fix that, obviously, like players should be offside sometimes in a game, but when they've marketed all the rules pluses and smarter AI and all that gimmicky stuff that they go on about, like you'd like to think your expensive fancy centre attacking mid is going to know he's clearly offside. He's aiming at the guy that's about to break the line and then have a chance or a pass.
Um,
Finding that a couple of times a game, and it boils my brains.
so you're not the biggest fan of FCIQ, then I take it.
I don't think there is any IQ. It's like sometimes like the game does feel good and it works and it's fun, but then other times it just feels like it's like the AI is like a bunch of 10-year-olds just like with no concept of positional awareness or offside and just whatever. Like I started the game, one of my weekend league qualifiers today, and Ferland Mendy just started running towards the own goal, like my own goal from kickoff, and I'm like, mate, if they go for the kickoff glitch, I'm done here. And you're just like, why are you doing that? But
Yeah, it's yeah. I sent into the Discord a clip of a break. My opponent was making a break, and my I think it was a Rojo was just randomly doing the stretching your hamstrings animation, as opposed to making that move to play the player offside. It was almost like they were just stuck in this animation, and you sit there thinking, you know, it's the little touches like that in terms of those animations that make you, when you look at them, go, oh wow, that's really clever, you know, that's great. But those are icing on the cake things. It's the whole, putting sprinkles on a turd thing. Like ultimately the sprinkles are really nice, but if it's a turd, it's a turd.
yeah,
And that's kind of what the gameplay will feel like sometimes. It's like you appreciate like the stadium looks really nice and the graphics are crisp and stuff, but then it's like, but like you say, like a pass has gone completely astray or a player's moved 8 million yards out of position, and you're just like, what on
like
earth is going on?
these little things that happen that are sort of unintended or intended by not us. It feels like it costs you more this year as well somehow. Like I could like previous years I'd give away those mistakes and maybe I've just got a bit worse, whatever. But like you like things can happen and that's fine, but it seemed really punishing this year. And I don't know. I think maybe they can save it with a patch, or maybe when players get to 93 rated, it'll be brilliant. But it's just sad that you need to wait that long to get the game that we should get and we deserve.
Yeah, and look, I think again we had this conversation before. It's like the shine is off, the bloom is off the rose in terms of, I think, for this franchise at the moment, in that EA have played most of the cards that they've got to play to distract people from the actual core gameplay of this. They've brought in things like Evos last year, so we're already over a year in. They brought Rush out, and Rush is broken. Like, Rush is done. Let's put a fork in Rush. It's done. I went into a game the other day, and I was literally the only one out of 8 players playing.
Yeah, like it's even horrific if you play it with your friends, because who wants to play 4 other guys standing outside the pitch? Like, you'd rather have a tight game and lose by 2 or 3 or whatever than just plough people that aren't playing into next week for what feels like 40 minutes, because the Rush games turn out to be so long as well.
So there's nothing new to distract you. Like, we've been through the era now of, and the store tonight is jam packed full of 8 million different packs to buy. I counted the other day, and I think there were 17 different promo packs. So again, the novelty, because 2 years ago, that would have been, oh wow, look at all these promo packs. Oh, there's 100 player pack in store. Oh my god, there's a guaranteed hero pack in the store. But we've been there, we've done it. Like, that's not new anymore either. The new rewards that have come out, like, okay, they're great, they're new rewards, but already the pack weight has meant they're so devalued that they're not exciting. So it's a case of, okay, well, what is bringing you back to this game? What is getting you hyped about this game? And even when they have something really easy, and again, I'll wait until I've played a bit to judge this Ballon d'Or promo, but even tonight with the Ballon d'Or Evo they've put out, you just sit there and go, what are you actually thinking with this evolution? Because look, it's a half decent Evo. It's based around Bon Matty's card, but it's the same problem that I talked about on the Tuesday show that came out Wednesday with Shaq. It's like, you have to play 11 games for it, having already paid 90,000 coins or 1,200 FIFA points, which is what we worked out was, what, about £9, was it?
Yeah, like eight, 9 quid was a little bit less than that, and then the next step up was a little bit more. I think they know what they're doing with the pricing. And just on the Ballon d'Or one, why can't they give the final card the fun Ballon d'Or design instead of that hideous green thing that looks like the evil guy out of Spider-Man's tail? Do you know what I mean? Like, give us the cool cosmetic background, and then maybe you're like, yeah, that'll make my team look fun. But the green's horrendous.
Yeah.
And it's been the same for 2 years, or almost identical if it's not the same.
Yeah. It's so, like, again, they do something that you think is fun, and then you eat down to it and you go, oh. And I've already had to play a load of games for Evos this week, and it's just like having to play another 11 games, especially for a lot of cards that won't be particularly meta, that you're trying to put through this Evo, because it's a maximum overall of 83. And again, what happened to the opening up Evos, again, to encompass more cards? Like, I'm sorry, but if you're putting a load of stat rating limits on there, why aren't you just opening up the overall rating? Why can't it be an overall 85? Why have you got to put arbitrary things on there? It doesn't.
Yeah, and then
it doesn't make sense.
If your player misses out because he's got like 1 balance too much, and you're like, he's got 26 balance anyway, like, just chill out a bit. Like, and then you look at the cards they've given us for the 4-day loans, and you're like, well, we can't have this guy Evo that plays for whatever team we support, but you can give us a 97 rated Bon Mate or 95 Mbappe or Vinicius Jr., and you're just like, doesn't make sense.
Yeah. It doesn't.
And I think your point on why do we come back playing this game, I think, is because it's football and we all love football. And some of us still might play football, some of us might not. But for me, this is my fix of football, because I do not like having crumbled ankles for the next 3 days after playing football these days, and it's much too cold for football in Scotland for me. So yeah, I think we love football so much, so we come back to play, but the game's really testing that love sometimes, it feels like.
Yeah, and I think it's look, I'll end it on this note. It's a bit of a double-edged sword to me, because I don't think this game is horrific. I don't think it's a great game, but I certainly, I've played bad football games in the past. I grew up in an era where you would play Adidas Power Soccer or David Beckham Soccer or whatever version, early FIFAs. Like I've played FIFA 99 on the N64, people. I've played my share of horrific football games in the past, but you latch on to the bits of it that you enjoy. So for me, again, it's Evos and making Reading players, and that's what gives me joy. But ultimately, if this game isn't gripping you as much as a previous title, that to me, whilst it's a shame, can also be a good thing, because I can only speak from personal experience, but sometimes I get too deep into this game, Adam. I get too obsessed about completing certain objectives or chasing cards or making coins and stuff like that. Whereas this year, I'm able to switch off that bit more from this game, and this game becomes a bit more casual for me. And then when it is a bit more casual, I'm not getting the kind of highs and lows that go along with it. So actually, in a weird way, EA, for me, are doing me a bit of a favor by not making such an addictive and alluring game this year.
Yeah, like, I know what you mean. I think for me, why I'm finding it so frustrating this year is because some days you can go on and play 4 or 5 games and you're just like, that was class, like that was so fun. And then the next day you go on and nothing's working and everyone's slow and your players are going the wrong way and all that stuff that we've mentioned. And you're just like, if it was bad all the time, it wouldn't be as frustrating. But obviously, I'm glad it's not bad all the time. And like you say, yeah, it might be time to to play some different games and try different stuff. I think I'll probably do what I did last year and stop playing as soon as golf season comes back round again, and spend my weekends outside playing golf, as opposed to the hardcore grind, like you say. When it'd be like team of the year for me ends up being absolutely disgusting when you've got 600 packs by the time you've recycled them. It's like double that, and then you're doing every SBC like you've not seen daylight for 4 days. You've got Oberdorf to show for it, and Millie Bright I think I got last year, and you're just like, was it worth it? Was it fun? Like last year was the first time that I'd saved packs, and I was just a bit like, I'm glad I got some cool players and got SBCs done and stuff, but even that wasn't the mad fun that it used to be. So yeah, but I don't know, make lemonade out of the lemon that the game is a bit lacking. So find fun in other things or other games or doing other stuff a bit differently.
Wise words to conclude this show, my friend. Look, thank you so much for your time. Pompag on the show has been great to speak to you. Thank you to everyone who has listened in on the show. Again, the schedule's a little bit higgledy-piggledy with John being overseas. Hopefully I'll be back with the usual Tuesday crew for a Wednesday release. Of course, you get it on that Tuesday. If you are a member of the Patreon, again, patreon.com/FUT IN review. And again, if you want to get stuff off your chest and talk about all things FC and beyond, as conversations go left, right, and centre in the Discord, it is absolutely free to join there. The link is always in the show description as well. So look, hope everyone has a lovely weekend. Best of luck with your Ballon d'Or players. Try not to get too tilted either way. Don't get too carried away, and also don't get too down when you do get inevitably rinsed by Vinny Jr. and Bon Mati combinations. So find your best, as Adam said. Do what makes you happy. Try and have a good weekend. There's only one thing left for us to do, Adam.
Drop it.
We are going to drop it.
Drop it.
F-U.
T.
F-U.
T.
F-F-F-U.
T.
F-U. T.
T.
T. In review. F-U.
T.